Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I want to do a quick video here. My amp, I have a VOX AC30, has become microphonic. So this means that every time I go to play it, even though it sounds good and it's still performing well, I'm picking up radio stations. So I don't want to listen to the radio while I'm jamming out. So I went ahead and decided I'm going to do a quick video on how I'm going to repair this. So I've took the liberty of buying 4 brand new EL84 Groove Tubes. This is a matching set, so what you want to do is make sure these are all rated at 4. They have them handwritten on the top, so to prevent any sort of hum or anything else going on in the amp after you put these on, you want them to match. So when you get them from box, from the factory, this thing's just going to come with some cheap Chinese tube, so it's better to put in a set either way. Not a bad idea. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and look into this here, and we'll walk through what it's gonna take to put these groove tubes into my VOX AC30 here. Okay, so looking at the back panel, pretty much all we're gonna need to do is remove the screws here. So I just have a screw gun, and we're gonna go ahead and just take all the screws out of the back here. So what I'm gonna do is lay it on its face. Just make sure that you have a nice clean surface to lay this thing down on. And that way we have access to the back panel here. And I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the screws. So we only need to take the top piece of this panel off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove these. I'm not gonna pull the screws all the way out. So all you have to do is loosen them and let them ride up. Once they're up, they should be just fine. We're gonna leave them in this back panel. We don't wanna take them out. I don't wanna lose them, misplace them, or anything like that. So you'll see what I mean here in just a second. There's quite a bit, so just make sure to loosen each one. That's why I recommend using a screw gun. If you have to do this by hand, you're gonna give yourself a workout. So yeah, just loosen these bad boys up. We only have a few more, and then we'll have access to the tubes, and I'll show you what we're gonna do to replace them. Not a very hard fix, but just something that a lot of people, and just upgrading, even if you want to just upgrade, you don't have to necessarily have an issue with it. Like I said, they just come with Chinese tubes in them, so the back panel comes right off. We're going to leave it just like that. We're going to set it off to the side. Now we have access to all of our tubes. So common sense tells us that this needs to be unplugged from the wall before you touch any of this, because you will shock yourself or kill yourself. So yeah, make sure that it's unplugged. So I should probably say that just so you know before getting into this. But what we're going to be changing out are these 4 power tubes. These are the preamp tubes over here, but pretty much there's just one little retainer with these little black rubbers that hold it in place. So you just want to slide off the rubber and set it aside. I'm going to go ahead and just drop them down inside. I'm going to take out all 4, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put them down inside the amp here just so I don't lose them. And then you just pull this down over the tip, and that's it. And this is going to slide right out. So that's how we're going to go ahead and remove this. And then we're going to go ahead and replace all 4 of these. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull them all out. Once I have them out, we'll go ahead and open up the boxes here and get these replaced. So yeah, this should take care of these cheap China tubes. You can see it says right on there, China. So yeah, there we go. Now that we have all 4 of those out, I'm going to go ahead and reach over to the box here, and we'll get these things opened up. Okay guys, I went ahead and opened up the box here, so you can see these are all 4 of the new groove tubes. They're all rated 4s, so you want to get a matching set. When you get these, when you buy the amp, like I said, factory, they're just going to come with whatever in it. Sort of I think they come between like 4 and 8 is kind of what they're rated at. And I think the general rule of thumb is the lower the number, the lower the bias, that the sooner it breaks up. I think it's very minimal is what you're going to notice. So But yeah, so what we're going to do is, you can see when you look at the tip here, there is these pins all the way around, but there's one slot right, my camera going blurry, right here. It looks like one pin's missing. And if you look, you'll see that you have one pin missing right there. So when you're going to line those up, that's how we're going to do it. We're just going to look for the empty space, right? And we're going to line that up. Sorry, it's hard to see in the video. You're going to give it a little push. So once it's in there nice and snug, perfect. That's how we're going to line those up. Again, looking at that, it looks like we have one spot missing. I'm going to try to get this into frame with you here. And that tube has one little space missing right there. So again, we are just going to line that up like that. Give it a little wiggle and a push, and it shall go right in. That is it. Again, not plugged in, face down, lining these up just like so. Not a very hard task, but I know I can see why people would be intimidated by doing something like this. You don't want your amp to be warm either when you go to take the tubes out. These things are like little light bulbs, and they get super duper hot. So my amp obviously was off for a while. There it is. We have all 4 groove tubes installed. We just need to pull this back over and give it a pull and set the ring on the other side. Same thing here. This one looked a little goofy from the factory. Like, there we go. I think it was kind of bent, but whatever. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this here. A little tricky to do with one hand while you're recording, but I want you guys to be able to see what we're doing here every step of the way. So there we go. We have all 4 of the new groove tubes installed. And now I'm just gonna pick up my little black rubber. And the way these go back on, they slide over the retainer, and then also over the tip. There's a little tiny tip on the end of the tube, so it just sort of holds the tube and the retainer together. If you're missing these or don't have them, I wouldn't worry too much. They go on there very loose, and if you're like me and you're cranking this thing up, they might even just find their way off. So I wouldn't worry so much about them. I'm going to put them on there. I want to keep everything looking good and factory as it was. And I got the last one right here. I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Again, all these tubes are nice and snug inside of their spaces. All the retainers are put back on. So yeah, and we'll take a look at the rest of this stuff just while we're in here. Make sure there's no other issues while we're there. Okay, everything looks good. Just checking out these preamp tubes. So yeah, 4 brand new EL84 matching set of 4s, groove tubes installed. I'm just going to take back the rear access cover and pop it down in there nice and easily. Grab the screw gun, and do not torque these down, just hit it until it stops. That's all you need to do. You do not want to like smash the little retainers or the washers. They are just fine the way they are. You don't need to crank this down. You're not gonna, I mean, obviously you don't want to lose because then you rattle, but just barely hit them. Don't tighten the screws or over tighten the screws. And that is it. So we're gonna go ahead and button up the last couple screws right here and flip this thing over. And we're going to go ahead and plug it in, and we'll just do a quick little test to see how she sounds. And yep, again, one-handed, hard to do, but there we go. But yep, last one here, and we're going to go ahead and flip it over, and we'll do a test. There we go. Okay, I went ahead and fired this bad boy up. I let it warm up for a quick second, and we're just going to give it a quick run through. not picking up any more radio stations. So my microphonic issue has been corrected just by replacing the 4 power tubes. So yeah, and I hope this video was informative. It helps you out with your issues if you have any. So yeah, if you could, please like and subscribe, and I will keep the videos coming. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.